We all played music on our own without, we just kind of chose music as a passion. I mean, it chose us. And I was rehearsing, it all started in Burbank. Do you know that piano place under the 5 freeway off of Verdugo? You know, the pass?
Yeah.
It's like a piano.
Yeah.
That place used to be called Nightingale Rehearsal. And I was with some band playing bass. I had just started playing bass. I was a guitar player since I was like 11, 12. And I had just picked up the bass and I was playing bass for this band. And they were called Roswell. Pretty cool metal slash alternative, you know, the early K-rock stuff. And so I ran into these guys and I recognized them from my elementary school. Some of them, like Serge and Darren. And they were playing in a band called Soil, and I knew the bass player. I kind of started all together. And they asked me if I would manage them. And
really?
Yeah, because they're like, you know how to talk, man. You do this well. Because I'm a go-getter. If I need something, I get it done, right? And so I said, sure, I love your music. It's great. And it was just kind of, imagine the music was like 4 or 5 System of a Down songs in one. Very progressive, no song format really. It was just like riff after riff after riff. It was really cool though. And I started managing them, and unofficially, I got him some, I was trying to get him some gigs. I met up with the dudes from Rage Against the Machine somehow. I was gonna get him a gig at Zach's house. What went down is the bass player, who was my friend, didn't work out between them, and so they wanted to switch them with me, and I didn't want to do that. I was like, I'm not taking your spot. It's like taking your ex-girlfriend kind of thing. You know? So long story short, when they invited me over to Serge's house to tell me this, I said, you know, I feel weird doing that. Why don't we just start a new band? And just like, we'll use parts of those songs and we'll have a new name and it'll feel better. So we did.
Where'd the name come from?
It was a poem that Darren wrote, and it was called Victims of a Down. And it just didn't rub me right, you know, the victims, you know. I was like, I don't want to be a victim. So then he went back and I told him, like, that's the reason. I just don't want to be a victim. And what if we get big ever, I said, people are going to yell victim, you know. And I don't want to be that, you know. So he came back with System, and I was like, done. Because System, there's victims within the system, but it's a broader and it's cooler word. I feel like you can say system without sounding cheesy. It's system. It's always tough.
Yeah,
you know,
you want to be victim of the machine.
Yeah, you don't
want to rage against the machine.
Yeah, you want to be so it's kind of the system that's still on the downward spiral.
But it's
more
a good
worse now than it was then.